The Apple Watch SE is by far the best value, the most convenient, best overall smartwatch available in the market for the perfect Apple ecosystem. And yes, although it's not the Apple Watch Series 7, but for daily use, this is all anybody needs. Because let's be real, blood oxygen sensor, it's a cool gimmick, but how often would you ever see yourself using this? Trust me, I have both watches and I really don't use the blood oxygen sensors only when I'm doing video examples like right now. So, the SE, why should you get one? Well, it's a better value than the Series 3, if I would be perfectly honest with you. Series 3, this watch was released a long time ago, back in 2017. Remember the first generation Face ID iPhone, the iPhone 10? Yeah, it got launched alongside of that. The SE, however, it still is fairly new, and the processor inside is the same one you'll find on the Series 5 and Series 6. And because of that, there still is a lot more support from Apple, as yes, this is definitely going to have and receive watchOS 9 when that comes out, and many more watchOS support software. So this being the most affordable, brand new, modern Apple Watch, its key features are its safety, as yes, this does support and also have fall detection. It does have the ability to automatically start a 20-second timer whenever you start washing your hands. It's water resistant up to 30 meters. It has the built-in SOS. It does have the capability to be able to measure your altitude. It has a built-in compass because this is using the S5 chipset. And with the display turned off, it looks exactly the same as the Series 6, as the dimensions are very similar. And when you compare it against the latest Series 7 Apple Watch with the larger display, from a far distance, it still is quite challenging to tell the two different generations apart. And internally, it does have 32 gigabytes of internal storage, so yes, you could actually download and install your playlists, podcasts. You could even download third-party apps, as you do have access to the App Store right on your wrist. Again, just like the latest flagship Series 7 Apple Watch. Now, since this Apple Watch does have a very affordable price tag, it would be my watch of choice if you're using for family setup. If you don't know, this actually allows you to actually pair your their smartwatch on your main device, which will allow you to actually monitor your kid while they're at school. You can actually allow them to use certain apps throughout the entire day, and you can also monitor their overall health activities. So if you're burning calories and stuff like that, if they're actually doing great in PE, you can monitor all that right here. And in addition to that, you have the ability to reach out for your kid, like get a hold of them, and vice versa, especially if you get the LTE version as well. But if you don't get the LTE, so long as there's Wi-Fi nearby, their watch can also connect to Wi-Fi. But this allows you to create custom schedules, so when they're in school, they're not distracted, but when they're out and about with their friends, they have the ability to get a hold of you in a case of emergency. The SE is definitely a good watch for that because it's fast, it's quick, it's a modern smartwatch. So I already mentioned an LTE version is also available for this watch, but you can settle for just the standard Wi-Fi. And just like the Series 7, there's an additional edition you can also purchase, the Nike version. The Nike version comes available in silver and black, silver and space gray. But if you want the gold color body, you have to get the standard SE, the non-Nike version. Then you got a choice between the 40mm screen and the 44. The one we have here is the 44, so this is the much larger one. Then, another thing I should also mention, if you're upgrading from an older Apple Watch, so long as the bands match the body, so say for example this is a large band, it's going to match the larger screen Apple Watch. So if you're coming from an older series Apple Watch, like a Series 2, 1, or even 3 or 0 even, yeah, that exists, you can actually use those older bands onto the SE. So they're all fully compatible, so long as the body size is the correct size. So large, large, small, small. That's typically how I like to remember it. So large 42 screen will fit the large 44 screen if you're upgrading from an older Apple Watch. Now, if you launch the Apple Watch app for the SE, you'll notice that it has access to all the new watch faces, excluding the Series 7 round edges watch faces. But if you don't include these, you still have a very large library of different watch faces to choose from. And yes, you still have the same abilities like you always had to like reply to text messages, answer phone calls, which if I could comment, the microphone and speaker quality when it comes to answering quick calls on your wrist sound fantastic. Not once have I ever experienced any issues where the caller had a hard time hearing me, and vice versa. So long as I'm indoor in a controlled environment, I could easily have a conversation with just my wrists. No issues here whatsoever. And if I want to, I can always just use my AirPods to connect to the Apple Watch, or even third-party Bluetooth headphones. It does have built-in Bluetooth. You could pair to those earbuds or headphones like you would on your smartphone. Now, in terms of fitness activities, it has everything that the Series 7 has. All the workouts, the workout library that it has, you can also find it on the SE, I should say. And it does an excellent job in tracking your calories, as don't forget, it does have the latest generation heart rate sensor from Apple, so it's able to monitor your heart rate to give you an estimate calorie burn, as well as keep track of your steps, the flight of stairs, and it gives you all access to all this data right here off your wrist. You can even be competitive if you like. And then all the tips and tricks and those hidden features I covered in the past, you can watch that video. I go through 100 plus. The majority of them are all compatible on the SE. You have the ability to skip the counter. You could just tap on the screen to bypass that. You create different segments if you're taking laps and such. It could do it all. And although it doesn't have the full keyboard like it does on the Series 7, where you can actually reply using the built-in keyboard, you can always go to the App Store and download third parties. It's fully compatible on the SE. So you're really not losing out of a lot. The only thing you're missing is the ECG, which again is more like a gimmick because it's all depending on the user. But if you don't have any health complications, there's no need. Again, the same also applies to the heart oxygen sensor. Yeah, the LED lights look cool, but that's basically it. It's just data that we really don't need unless, once more, you have health complications. So all in all, there's my 2 cents of the Apple Watch SE on reasons why you're better off avoiding to spend $400 for the Series 7 and just go on Amazon right now and buy a fully compatible and buy an impressive, very capable Apple Watch for just half of the cost that a Series 7 will cost you. If you act now, for example, you can find the SE on sale most of the time. You can save a lot if you actually get a refurbished model, since after all, the SE still is a very new Apple Watch. It's likely even the refurbished model is still under the same 1-year manufacturer warranty if you double check by searching up the serial number once you receive it. I bought refurbished Apple Watches from Amazon in the past. Most of the time it's a return Apple Watch, so when I search up the serial number on Apple's website, I still had 10 months or so of Apple standard manufacturer warranty, so I was covered. Link to that quick search for the serial number in the video description down below that Apple provides. So I'll be sure to include that in the video description down below. Aside from that, there you guys have it. That is my review and reasons why the Apple SE, it is a good value Apple Watch if you're trying to get your hands on an excellent smartwatch available in the market. If you guys enjoyed, got some good useful information out of this video, you know what to do. Greatly appreciate if you actually leave this video a like, as those help me out a lot, and get subscribed, especially if you enjoy a lot of technology based videos just like this. If you'd like to see more, check out this video over here, which I highly recommend watching, where I go through 100 plus unique hidden features and some cool tips and tricks I bet you didn't know you could do with an Apple Watch. I cover everything in that video. And the video next to that one, that's just a video YouTube's recommending specifically for you. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I'll catch you all in the next one. See ya.